Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. We are on part 2 in building CRUD feature for ASP.NET Blazor. And we will using the Math Blazor for showing our data from database. In previous part, we already initialized our Blazor project and the database. We also doing a seeding from our data. Anyway, this seed of data is a list of my early subscriber to this channel. Okay, so thank you for all in this person. And the next thing we will to do in this part is integrating with the Math Blazor. But first, let we add the source control here. I'm using Git for this. Okay, local only is fine. And then create. So by this, I have a checkpoint that what I do in previous part. Okay, nice. I can close it. And this is the Math Blazor. You can go to the page mathblazor.com and we can get started here. What we need to have is we need to install the Math Blazor and then add this to import. Maybe let we try do one by one. I put here manage the package and we search for the Math Blazor. Okay, this one. Make sure you select the verified one. And then install. And I accept it. Okay, should be fine now. And as the website, the next thing we need to do is to adding the imports here. We're adding the using import into the component import.razor. Put in here like this. Okay, nice. And then we need to add the reference, both of this one. Okay, you can copy from here and then go to the layout, not layout, but this one, application.razor. You can put above the head outlet is fine, like this. And then you also need to have JavaScript format Blazor here. You can copy and then paste below the Blazor web.js. And then let me scroll down. Register the service. Okay, the next thing we need to do to register the service, we go to the program.cs. We can do after we adding the DB context, builder service add math services. I think we need to have a reference in here. Okay, using mathblazor.services. And then the next thing we need to have is these three component in our main layout.razor. I just copy all. Okay. Then we go to the main layout. Just put above the page in here. Okay, I paste it. This one should no need. Okay, I think we need to have a reference. Yeah, why there is no reference? I think we already insert our Math Blazor here. Maybe I try to rebuild it. And then seems still having an issue. Make sure you already install the Math Blazor and then you already include Math Blazor in import.razor. And if this thing still exists, we can try to restart. Let's try to restart. I'm in a restart Visual Studio. Okay, I have restarting the Visual Studio and now we have the reference. Yeah, sometimes Visual Studio like this. All you need to do is just restarting the IDE. And then what we need to have in here is we set to dark mode. Where is dark mode equal to true, and then we need to reference to our render mode. Render mode is interactive server, and copy all of this into the other. Okay, now the initialization of Math Blazor is complete, and we have a service to showing our data from database. We can just having a simple folder in here, name it as a services, and then add a new class with the name employee services. Service. Okay. Before we add anything in here, let we add the injection into our program.cs. Builder services at scope is our employee service, just like this. So later we can use this in our UI. And what we will have in employee service, first we need to initialize the data access or the application DB context we have here. We can having a constructor for this, ctor and tab. Now I'm adding the application DB context, and create and assign field DB context. And then we will have a method for this, public asynchronous task list of employee view model. Okay, we're still not having this one yet, because instead of we showing directly the entities, it's better we have another class to represent our entities for our UI. I will let you know why we need to separate that later. So maybe we create this first. We have a new folder, view models, and then I copy all of this into our, where is it? Add class employee view model and paste in here. And any modification needed for our UI, instead of we updating the employee entities, we can updating our employee view model. Like example, we want to have a required in here. So later our UI will showing the full name is required in UI. Okay, we having a data annotation in here. Okay, I copy it, and I want all of this is required except the employee ID. And then the employee ID is auto increment integer. So instead of showing employee ID as 1, 2, 3, something like this, I want to showing the employee ID like AMP0001 gitu example. But I don't want to store this value to database. I just want to show to user this employee ID. And what we can do is we can have another property string employee ID view, and then we don't need to set it because the set we need to have is only for employee ID. And then we can do like this. Okay, maybe I clean up a bit. And we can just return emp plus employee ID to string, and the path left I tab it maybe 4 lah. Okay, by this it will look like emp0001, something like this. And this not affecting any of our database. And now we can back to our employee service and add the reference for this. And we can name it as a get all employees. And we can just return await DB context employees. And then we order by, maybe order by name, full name ascending. And then we need to mapping the data. What we get from the DB context is a list of employee entity. And we need to convert it into list of employee view model. There is application that help us to doing this easily, like using AutoMapper. But instead of doing that, I want to do it manually. So what we can do is select new employee view model, and we map it one by one like this. Full name in employee view model equals to full name that exists in employee entity, department, what again, date of birth, ages, and phone number. I think I'm missing the important one is employee ID. Now, as you see, the employee ID view, we don't need to set anything in here. The value of employee ID view is based on the employee ID in here. And then I just can have a tool list asynchronous. Now the function to getting the data from database is complete. We can just showing this data to our UI. And then I think I want to close all, but this one, where is it? I close other tab and I pin it. First, let we modify our main layout. Okay, this one. Okay, I put below this and let's have a container with math container. Okay, and then we have a div in here for class margin top 5. And then we showing our body. So we are not using a regular layout that provided by Blazor. I can remove it all. The next thing we need to have change to our home.razor. We are going to show list of employee in here. And what component in Blazor we're going to use is a data grid. We can go to the component data grid in here. Okay, you can use this as your reference. And then what I want to use in this tutorial is maybe, okay, this one, server-side filtering, sorting, and pagination. Is it correct? Yeah, I think it should be fine. So by default, Blazor helping us to having a search in here, the pagination, and also the sorting. And what we need to have is just using this all. I think for reference, we can just copy all of this. And maybe I need to copy the code also. Okay, I copy all of this. Oh, you can just press here. And then I just paste below the page title like this. And then maybe I put the using above here. And then I'm not going to use this one and this one. The element we need to have here is a employee view model. This is the model that we are going to use in our data grid. Okay, employee view model, employee model, employee view model, employee. Check all of this, yeah. Okay, I think this one should be enough. I think we need also the reference. Okay, using the simple CRUD.view models. So now it's green out, and yeah, the error is gone. And then we need to change all of this property because it's different. Now, first we will showing the employee ID view. The title is employee ID, and I duplicate it, and I showing the full name, and department. This one should not need title because it's same department. Date of birth. This one is date time, yeah. And we need to have a specific format for this. Format day, month, and year. Okay. And the title should be date of birth. And then I remove it, the egg. Okay. And then phone number. And this one for element, we just need to have this. Okay, nice. Okay, now we go to the code here. What we need to inject first is our employee service. Okay, we don't need to this one. We need to inject employee service at the reference. Okay, employee service. I copy, and then when we try to get the data, we just call with employee service get all employees. Nice. Now in here, this is the filtering. What I want to filter in this tutorial is maybe employee ID and full name. Okay, if you want to add more, you can add by yourself. So what we need to have here, I think it's only 2, so I can remove this, and then I zoom out a bit. This one should be full name. Oh, no need employee ID view first. Okay, this one, and then full name. Okay. So it's basically whenever the element or a data in row employee ID view contains the set string, it will return true that and then showing the data. Same also the full name. And then here we are checking the total items. And in below, this is a sort function. And what we can have is a employee view model. This one employee ID view. Okay, so we sort employee ID view. And what again, a full name. We can sort a full name. But again, department, date of birth, age, and age. Okay, one more thing ya. I copy and paste below is a phone number and phone number. And this one a code for separating our data into multiple page size, yeah, or paging, we can say that. And you just return the employee view model in here. Okay, nice, should be fine. And then we need to have a render mode in here. Render mode is interactive server. And maybe this one we temporarily change it to employee management system. And then now we're able to start and view the result of our code. Nice, as we can see now we're able showing the data. This is list of data we have in database. And then it's sort by ascending of full name. And then we can sort it like this, nice. Sort by employee ID also. Okay, nice. We also able to do paging in here. And we able to search the data. Example, I want to search Ari. Nice, we are able to do search also. Okay, good. Don't forget to commit your changes if you are also using a Git in here. I put here as a part 2 and commit all. So now let's take a rest and continue to the next part. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe.